What is your passion?
Now, I feel like nowadays movies are it's all about, Marvel movies, big comic book movies, or sequels, books being turned into movies. In a world so big like that, what is it that brought you to this movie? Why attach yourself to The Good Catholic?
Oh, well, yeah, spoiler alert, there's no explosions in this one, but it's a very human story, made more so because it's based loosely around the story of Paul Shoulberg, the director of The Good Catholic. His parents, his mom was formerly a nun and his dad was formerly in the seminary. So they obviously had to leave the church when they fell for one another. So it's a very human tale that I think happens a lot, maybe, in different faiths around the world, and I was really drawn to that story, and it's interesting to see how that plays out, because I think, you can still have faith, you can still believe in something, and have love for another person. So that's really what the movie explores.
Yeah, I like that. I like the spirituality of it, and the overall message of it's love.
Yeah, it's love. It's love.
Love.
It's cool.
Yeah, it is. So tell me about the process of making an independent movie.
Yeah, well, so starting back at the beginning, we all went to Indiana University together. The 3 producers on the project, the director, the lead actor, a bunch of people all went to IU. So we sort of met in and around the theater program at Indiana University. We knew we always wanted to do a project together. Paul wrote this great screenplay called The Good Catholic. We read it, we all loved it, and we started attaching talent to it. Not everyone said yes to us, I'll say that right out of the gate, but we ended up with a phenomenal group of actors. Danny Glover, of course, from Lethal Weapon fame.
Right.
John C. McGinley from, he just seems like he's everywhere.
Yeah.
Stan vs. Evil, The Rock.
Scrubs.
Platoon.
Yeah.
The guy does a lot. And then Wrenn Schmidt, who's this phenomenally talented. I'm not even sure if it's okay to call her an up-and-comer anymore, because she has an amazing career going right now for herself. Boardwalk Empire.
Yes.
She was in 13 Hours, Krasinski's wife in 13 Hours.
Mm-hmm.
So she has an amazing career right now. And then Zach Spicer, who I know from Indiana University Theater, stars in the movie. He runs one of the production companies that made the film, Pigasus Pictures. And he's also a producer on the film.
Okay.
So Zach Spicer's great in it, and he's been in, I think, Master of None,
Yeah.
season 2, Gotham, yeah. So we got this great cast attached, and we filmed in Bloomington, Indiana,
I love how the town has just wrapped up and really rallied.
Haven't
around
they?
you guys.
It's been great.
It's so cool. I see it online on the Facebook page, and they're like, "Hey, they shot here," and they're excited. You guys are doing the big premiere out there, right?
Well, we have a few different premieres. We have a New York premiere going, we have an LA premiere going, and then there's a premiere for the people of Bloomington, Indiana, that'll be happening in mid-September. And that's really to say thank you for really making this movie possible. There was food showing up on set at all times of the day.
Somebody's grandma came and brought you a casserole.
Basically, yeah, just brownies would show up and just lemon bars, and I didn't ask any questions. I just ate them and then kept shooting. And it was, everyone really came together. The local Ford delership gave us one of our picture cars to use for the film. So Indiana University and then all the businesses in Bloomington, Indiana really came together.
Yeah, that's really, really cool to see. It's like, oh, they're a part of the movie.
Yeah, in fact, it feels like the entire town is in the film.
Yeah.
There's a major scene that we have in the church near the end of the movie, and easily several hundred extras. Mm-hmm. So, people got to see the film being made, and then hopefully most people got to actually be in the film.
Yeah. So tell me about how you got Danny Glover and John C. McGinley a part of this project.
Well, hats off really to Paul Shoulberg, the director, and his script. That's really what it came down to. And I think, you mentioned the Marvel Universe earlier. Those movies are great. I think there's absolutely, people love seeing them. But this is a smaller story. This is 4 main actors that presents a lot of great breathing room for some really interesting scene work. that I think we might have a little bit of a drought of in Hollywood right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of running from gigantic green screen villains. I mean, we got that. We're set there.
Yeah.
But really intense scene work where two people can actually connect. Paul's script, I mean, gives you that in spades.
Yeah.
So I think all the actors were drawn to the script,
yeah,
to be frank.
And you can tell in the trailer, just from the 2 minutes that I've seen. I've watched it a few times. It's like, man, I really want to know what's going to happen. Is he gonna leave the church? Are they gonna fall in love? Are they gonna get married? Or
Yeah, there's some built-in cliffhangers there that I think the format gives you, which will be cool to see for everyone to see. Yeah,
it's pretty cool. And I mean, you said you all came from University of Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
So did you know back then you're like, okay, one day we're gonna do a project together, and this is gonna be it?
No, I mean, I wish for the purposes of this interview that we had spent the last 10 years, really just strategizing how to make a film together. But I think, honestly, after Indiana University Theater, we all sort of went our separate ways and kind of had our own careers. A few of those guys were in New York, Paul stayed in Bloomington, and then I went out and did sort of the California thing. And we had our careers going. I did some TV, I did some film, and then it just seemed like the time was right that we had all sort of gained these skills or gained this background where, we just were all puzzle pieces for one another. We brought something useful to the project, each of us in our own way, I think.
The timing was right.
Timing was right, yeah.
And being a producer, but also having that background in filming and, knowing all your shots and stuff, were you able to get your hands in on this project? Did you shoot some of the scenes yourself?
Yes. I mean, it wasn't like I was just waiting for the moment where Justin Montgomery, the DP, would get really tired and then I could just jump in. But yeah, Justin was nice enough to let me shoot really a majority of the second unit coverage in the film, and the second unit stuff, like some shots of our main character running around Bloomington, Indiana, all the exteriors for the most part I shot. So yeah, I got to get my hands on a camera as well.
That's cool. What would you say would be the biggest difference between being a producer of an independent movie versus, a big studio movie?
Yeah, I think studio films, obviously you get all the resources that comes with that, but I think you also have more chefs in the kitchen that are interested in the final product. For the most part, they're very talented. They have a great track record of producing amazing big budget projects. And that's good, but that comes with, again, you really got to nail the collaboration. And you do in independent films as well, but it's a smaller group of people all just, pulling each other up by the bootstraps trying to make it happen.
Yeah.
So it becomes a smaller group of people, to quote Hamilton, in the room where it happens, right?
Yeah.
So.
Now, what's one thing that you want, somebody who's going to watch the movie, what do you want them to leave with?
Oh, that's a great question. I mean, this movie is great because I think there are laugh lines. I think there are moments where you might laugh in the audience, maybe moments where, I don't want to say you'll cry, but if you're like that, you might feel a little more emotionally attached.
Okay, I'm gonna cry then.
Well, then for you, Dorothy.
I don't cry in movies.
Okay, then you might cry in this film, Dorothy. But I want people to leave this picture feeling like they've been on a little mini journey, that they've seen a little slice of these people's lives, and they're taking away maybe bigger questions about their faith or their role. I don't want to say in humanity, that sounds really big, right. But just I want them to come away with a few questions, maybe that they can answer themselves or answer with their families.
Congratulations on the Independent Film Festival Awards, by the way.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
very
you.
Exciting. Santa Barbara,
Yep.
Milan.
Yes, yeah, we got Best Picture at Santa Barbara International Film Festival. Those guys are great.
Yeah. Well, Graham, thank you so much for being here with us. We're so excited for The Good Catholic, September 8th in select theaters. I'm Dorothy with That's My Entertainment. What's yours?